again, Retreat Church. Hey, for just a brief moment, I want to talk to you today about approaching God. How exactly are we supposed to do this, right? How do we come into God's presence? How do we approach God? One of the ways that we do that is collectively through the church experience, through various gatherings of various styles and formats and flavors, right? But that is a very key way that we approach God. And I want to talk to you about that for just a moment. And I want you to think about this the next time you attend a church service, a Bible study, a prayer group, any sort of gathering that has anything to do with you together with others approaching God. Two quick things out of the book of Ecclesiastes. First of all, I want to talk to you about the way that you approach Him. And the way that you approach Him, according to Solomon, is to guard your steps, to pay attention to how you're approaching God. So I want you to think about this. On Sunday morning when you attend church, I want you to think about how you're walking in the building. Are you paying attention to your heart? Are you paying attention to your attitude? Are you paying attention to your motives for doing that? And maybe one quick thing, are you getting there on time? Sorry to plug that one in, but as a pastor, that's one of the most annoying things that I experience in leading my church is that people approaching God late or tardy. But who knows? Maybe that's just my issue. You pray, and if I'm wrong, then maybe forgive me. But I want you to think about your own heart and your own mind as you're doing that. And I know that those of you that show up to church late, you're doing so with hurried steps, not necessarily guarded steps, right? I know others of you that maybe you show up on time and maybe you're there beforehand and you're drinking some coffee on the foyer, you're hanging out, you're eating donuts, you're doing that, but maybe your approach to God, even though you're on time, maybe your approach to God is flippant and overly casual and just kind of whatever, right? Either way, whether you're on time or tardy, there can be important things about the way that we're approaching God that leave ourselves unguarded and that we're not paying attention and we're not focused and we're just kind of lazy about our approach to God. There's another thing that I want to talk to you about real quick about approaching God that is your reason for doing so. Ecclesiastes in that same verse says, draw near to God to listen is better than to offer the sacrifice of fools. Now, what is the sacrifice of fools? The sacrifice of fools, if you would read on in the text, is the making of promises without the intent or ability to fulfill them. That is a sacrifice of fools. So next time you go to church or a Bible study or any gathering, I want you to pay attention to how you're doing that. Pay attention to your own heart, your own attitude, your own mind. Make sure to guard those things and protect those things. And then I want you to think about your purpose. Are you approaching God to listen? Or are you approaching God to make some unfounded, emotionally based, desperate kind of promise that by the time you get back in your car, you really don't have any other motivation for completing that task? I want you to think about those things as we approach this weekend, because this weekend at the retreat, we're going to talk about this and more issues pertaining to listening to God. God bless you. We'll see you next time.